When you're part of the protected class in this town, it's usually because you've got something to be protected over in terms of corruption and misconduct and other issues. And in terms of deep state arrogance, it's hard to match the arrogance of Dr. Anthony Fauci. He is the highest paid government official in the land. He doles out and is responsible for doling out billions of dollars in grants and such, giving him unmatched power in the history of science in terms of directing research and such. And we're not allowed to ask questions of him. I mean, I tell you, when I first raised questions about Fauci, this is kind of a fun story. You may not remember this. So, the COVID stuff starts happening. Fauci immediately takes a leadership role as a public face in describing what the issues are. And of course, everyone's very nervous and panicked. So people were looking for leadership. And, Fauci seemed pretty reasonable at the time, but, I'm always suspicious. But, I didn't necessarily think he was the worst person in the world or the worst bureaucrat in the world. But then I saw that someone had posted an email where he praised Hillary Clinton in very unusual terms. And I thought, well, isn't that interesting? So I posted up a video of me saying, well, isn't that interesting? And that was all I said with a link to the email. Well, I tell you, the New York Times had a story talking about that question I had about Fauci praising Hillary Clinton, showing a politicized favoritism for her. And I said, isn't that interesting? That got attention in the New York Times and other big media publications. That's how sensitive they were about any criticism of Fauci. So I thought to myself, and of course Judicial Watch, we're just generally skeptical, so it's not like just me asking questions. We've got a lot of people here who've been around the block and know when something's up. Oh, well, Fauci must be part of the protected class. And when you're part of the protected class in this town, it's usually because you've got something to be protected over in terms of corruption and misconduct and other issues. So we started asking questions about Fauci and what his agency was doing. We exposed, as I've highlighted, some of the dishonesty and secrets about the gain-of-function research and their work with China and other scandalous activity that, in my view, involved fraud in the least. And we've also worked with our friends at openthegovernment.com to expose some of the finances of Fauci and his colleagues. We sued for records about, something basic like his job description, the most important government official, arguably, in recent American history. And we had to sue to get details of what his actual job was. So it reminds me of that Office Space line. Office Space was a funny movie if you haven't seen it. And the corporate team comes in and they're asking the employees, who were very nervous to explain what their jobs are, what is it you see that you do here? And we had to sue to get that answer from Fauci. And of course, our lawsuit with Open the Books exposed hundreds of millions of dollars in royalty payments to NIH officials and others that Americans are greatly concerned about. And just more recently, we sued about Fauci's wife, who also works at NIH, believe it or not. Did you know that? Again, basic information about what she does, her finances, her financial disclosure forms and things. This is all public information. Frankly, it all ought to be up on the internet already, but it isn't, and that should tell you something. So again, it's a federal lawsuit for information we have an inherent right as American citizens to get under federal law. Well, we just filed another lawsuit about Fauci and his family because the cover-ups continue. We sued for her emails. So she's a government employee and she has emails, and we want them about specific topics. Again, we asked about this last September. We've been getting a runaround for almost a year. We want all emails sent to and from NIH Clinical Center Department of Bioethics Director Christine Grady regarding vaccines for the prevention and/or treatment of SARS-CoV-2 and/or COVID-19. All emails sent to and from Ms. Grady referencing the terms antibody-dependent enhancement, ADE, pathological priming, pre-priming, paradoxical immune enhancement, and/or disease enhancement. Those are phrases that you're not allowed to say as it relates to the vaccine. Look up those terms as it relates to the vaccine, and you'll see why they censor people when they raise these issues. And of course, we wanted all emails between Grady and her husband, Director Fauci. Now, we're not asking for, and we wouldn't be allowed to get emails saying, honey, let's go get dinner. Did you pick up the chicken? You need to get eggs. We're going to go to the baseball game. We got a dinner engagement. Those personal emails are not subject to FOIA. That's obvious. But government-related emails are subject to FOIA, and we want them, and they're hiding them. They've been hiding the emails for almost a year in violation of the law. This is the very definition of a cover-up. The unlawful cover-up of Fauci's family government records strongly suggests there is something to hide. As I said, that's the protected class. They're protected for a reason. So that's another great lawsuit we got. More is coming. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and like our video down below.